chasing the bad guys, and he's trying to rescue the army captain.
Yeah.
Up in the air. The aerial stunts were just awesome, weren't they?
Yeah, they were really good. I'm telling you, I'm really excited
I am too.
about this episode.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
If you don't already know, I'm Cathy.
I'm Tom.
And we're the Marvelous Donohues.
Marvel heads, welcome.
Welcome.
You're our family. You're Marvel heads to us. And in special honor of you, I wore my favorite Captain America shirt because we're going to be talking about episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I'm glad he said it, because let me tell you guys, I've been trying that introduction, and I say the Falcon and the Snowman.
You're talking about an 80s spy thriller, in case you don't know what the Falcon and the other guy is. The Falcon and the Snowman.
Listen, I've never even heard of that movie, or maybe I heard about it, and it's just stuck in my brain. But this is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So if you're here for the Falcon and the Snowman, we're not going to be talking about
We're not going to be talking about that. We're not talking about that at all.
No.
But you guys, listen, we want to just thank everybody
Thank you.
for tuning in, and watching us and enjoying it. And we're up to 12 subscribers.
Woo!
I know that may not sound like a lot.
I'll get more excited when we get a little bit up the charts there. But,
it's better than 0.
That's
so
true.
If you guys like and subscribe and support us,
yes,
it'll be absolutely great. But for those of you who are new here, I would say we're the biggest fans of Marvel in the universe.
In the universe.
In the universe.
In the cinematic universe and otherwise.
So
we also want to take a special note to thank our foreign language.
Yes, hola.
Friends, our English as a second language guests.
Yes, welcome.
So,
bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Right? Yes. So welcome those of you who are tuning in to learn the English language by listening to us speak. Welcome again. And I should say, get this out of the way, that we are reviewing the Marvel series on Disney Plus. Sometimes we may fade in and out with the movies, but for right now, we're sticking to the Marvel series.
Right, the TV show on Disney Plus. And like I said in some of my other episodes, if you're saying, Marvelous Donohues, where have you been? This series has been out for a while. And I said, this is like a fine wine.
Fine wine.
We let it settle a little bit. So I think I can say this truthfully today. You're going to get a wine full.
A glass full
of some great TV. So let's do this.
Yes,
thing.
and of course, everyone, since it's streaming, watches the series at different times. So we're catering to everyone. If you've seen it already, you might want to watch it again. Yep. And to let you guys know, we have reviewed Loki. So we're actually going backwards. We started with Loki. We're going to go to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right.
And then what's the one before that? WandaVision. And then we're going to do even the Mandalorian.
Right.
And we're going to throw in a little bit of Sulphur Springs. So get ready.
I know,
I know that sounds crazy, but that was a really good sci-fi kids show. And we watched it and we enjoyed it.
We did.
So, enough of me talking.
Oh, no.
Talking for right now, I mean.
Okay. I got it.
So we're going to start reviewing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 1.
I'll just start off. I really love this episode. I love this episode. Like I said, I'm wearing my ceremonial Captain America shirt.
I need to give me one.
And in fact, I'm going to spoil this right now. I'm going to wear this for the next 6 episodes. So we're going to go through the whole Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. This is the shirt
you
you're going to see.
You didn't tell me that, but okay.
I know. You know what? My laundress can rest easy because I'll just be wearing one shirt. So
Okay. I was gonna try to get me one too, but he gonna be wearing it for both of us.
Copycat.
So hey, that's okay. And also for those of you that have not seen the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we're going to put in the spoiler alert right here.
Yes.
That we're gonna be talking about it in detail.
Yes.
I too decided that I am going to look at all the psychological aspects of their relationships, community, and family that we sometimes don't get to talk about during the movie or when you watch the movie.
That's right.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they're taking a deep dive into both of these characters,
That's right.
and it's starting with this first episode.
Yeah. It starts a number of months after the blip. Remember, in the trilogy of the chronology, they all came back from the blip. They'd been gone for 5 years, and they all came back. And this is an Endgame going forward in time. So they're, Captain America, as we know him, Steve Rogers is now gone.
Yes.
Iron Man is now gone. I'm crying about that still.
Yes.
But anyway, they start off, and what I liked about this, I felt like Sam and Bucky. I felt like this was going to be a real, like you were saying, a deep dive into who they were. And Sam, had a dilemma right away. He was given the shield by Cap A there, and he says, is this? Am I really worthy? Is this what, I feel like this belongs to somebody else.
Right. And that is a real psychological type of thing.
Right.
That he had at his speech when he was giving the shield away, his first spoiler, he decides to give it to the Smithsonian for prosperity.
Yeah.
And he says even the way that Steve Rogers stately posed, everybody laughed about that.
Stoically.
Stoically. Yeah.
He was stately too.
Yeah, but I felt like that it was kind of like him saying, can I feel these shoes,
Right.
And it started off, the way I like my movies, action packed. And here was Falcon just doing his thing.
He's chasing after those bad guys like we like it, and he's trying to rescue the army captain. And I just said, what do they have to rescue that army captain? What's going on with that? But the aerial stunts, I loved it. I love that Red Wing. I love that little drone who's blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
I just was like, wow, this is gonna be adrenaline filled, really, to be honest.
Right. And this one scene after that, he rescues the guy, and they're all settled back in where were they, honey? Dubai or Afghanistan or something?
They were out in the Middle East somewhere.
Okay.
I want to say Afghanistan.
Kandahar, because they were like, we're gonna pass into this other zone. But anyway, I digress. But there was a little guy there, and he was finding secret messages with his phone, the way you do when you're searching for those little game pieces, But he said something profound. Sam did. He said, "I'm reading my notes, you guys, because I do just a little bit of note taking, just a little bit. Every time something gets better for one group, it gets worse for another." And he said that because they were talking about, what's the name of those guys, Tom? What do they call them?
Which ones you
talking about? The bad guys.
Oh, flag smashers.
Flag smashers. Because there's this group, they're set up to be the antagonists in this story. Right. And their whole thing is we was fine before those people came back.
Before the half the population came back, we were living good.
Right.
We had all the resources, and now we've got to reshare those resources.
Right.
And their theory was, we want to have a borderless society.
Right. And they were like, I'm not having that. I'm not having any of that. Mm-hmm. So, Sam is trying to figure out too where he belongs.
Yeah.
And then we start to dive into Sam's life.
Yeah. And I think that what I saw with this episode is this is going to be a deep dive into these guys' lives. It's going to be, as I like to say, you've seen my episodes, it's beyond the obvious. It's not just okay, I'm Falcon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Winter Soldier. Guess what? It's going to be really a deep dive into Sam's, I don't want to say a search for identity, like I think Bucky is. I think Bucky is more. I'll cover that in a minute. But I think Sam is more a search for relevance. Like he's relevant. Okay, I'm not going to be Cap A. I'm going to be Falcon.
Right.
Should I have been taken the shield and done it?
Right. I don't know if I would say relevance. For me, I think Sam is the epitome of what's going on in society today,
right.
Of how African Americans are looking at themselves and finding that the society that they live in to be not the society is that it's not as accepting. And I'll just give you a quick example of that. Think about this. He saved the world. He's an Avenger.
Right.
And he goes to the bank to try to get a loan
for his sister in that fishing boat they have. Right?
And himself too, because he's like, I'm back here to stay.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
And he goes to the bank. And even though he's an Avenger, and they're like, well, Avenger don't have no money. Where you been for the last 5 years? All these things is like, exactly, I kind of disappeared.
Right.
So I wasn't around. I don't really have any money.
Yeah.
But that did make a difference. The goodwill was not extended. They was asking, boy, can you get money from Tony Stark, or is they paying you for that?
Right.
And the thing of it is, it's like, when I watch that, it's like, well, he just saved the world, but he not good for a loan because he don't have no collateral.
Right. It's kind of like he brought peace to the world.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have peace in his own home or his own backyard.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And that's the whole thing that is the juxtapose for me to where you're saying, well, you could save the world, but you don't have any credit because you've been gone the last 5 years. Those two things just don't. They don't match up. And that's what his sister was saying, because she was like, listen, I've been here while you've been gone straining, and now you said, well, I want to come and take over. And I think he's not trying to take over. He assumed that him being an Avenger would change things.
Exactly.
And when I
thought we'd give him more, like, I hate to use this phrase, but street cred. Like, okay, I'm going to be honored.
Right, yeah. And not just street cred, but credibility where it belongs, to where you should be able to get a loan if you save the world.
Yeah.
Because you should be good for it because you have saved the world.
Exactly.
But that didn't show up.
No, it didn't.
At all. Even though he's like, oh, I want pictures of you, and can we get a selfie, but you can't get a loan. Denied.
Exactly. I thought his dynamics with his sister, I mean, that's real world, guys.
Yeah.
It's real life. And I like this series. I think I'm going to like this series because it's going to be, really, I hate to use the word really real, but it's the phrase really real, but it's really going to be real. Even his nephews, I thought that was kind of funny. I giggled a little bit. They said, hey, Uncle Sam, how you doing? You're thinking Uncle Sam, U.S., Uncle Sam, U.S., they abbreviate that with the United States.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of, maybe a little bit, ironic.
Yeah, it was ironic. Yeah. So what do you think about Bucky's character in this, Tom?
I really like Sebastian Stan. I think I've always liked Sebastian Stan. I think he's a not a quiet warrior, but he's dedicated. This was interesting to me because I felt like he is trying to find himself. He even says a psychologist, psychiatrist, and then in the episode are like, okay, you got your mind back. And he's like, oh, I had a moment of peace in Wakanda.
That was interesting.
Rehabilitated, remember?
Yeah.
And what do I do with my freedom now? What do I do with, because he's free. Or a psychiatrist is like, hey, your record's been expunged.
Right.
You're able to go, do whatever you want to do. And he's like, well, what do I do with my freedom? So it's a man searching for some meaning, I think. And also, the other thing I'll say, and then you can, if you have anything about that, is he's searching for redemption. He's trying to make amends.
Yeah, I can see that.
He killed Mr. Nakashima's son.
Yeah,
you know, that's just painful. And he has that bucket list. He has that laundry list of people that he's trying to make amends to.
Right.
And I felt very compelling. It was very, actually, in some ways, it was very moving.
Yeah, it was. I would say too, when I think about Bucky and redemption, you know, he's trying to be normal, but that's super hard.
Yeah.
And Mr. Nakashima, he has kind of attached himself to him because he's become like his surrogate son that Bucky is actually killed, and Mr. Nakashima doesn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, he goes on this date and flippantly the girl says, well, how old are you? And he says, I'm 106.
I'm going, wow, you look really good for your age. Right?
Yeah, you know, and the thing of it is...
Battleship. See, I think there was a little bit of irony. It's like once a warrior, always a warrior. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Bridge or Pinochle or something like that, right?
Yeah. But all the stuff that he wanted to do was for older people. That's why, you know, he was thinking about these different things, and you know, she was kind of trying to understand him, but she's like, you remind me of my uncle or my grandfather or something, because he actually is.
106.
He says he tried to date, and he was like, he got on Bumble or some other stuff, and he was just like, they send me these crazy pictures. No, because he still has those old-fashioned social mores that were around when he was younger, and he still has that influence. You know, I guess the last thing I wanted to talk to about him is that he feels like he still has those demons.
Yes, that's
when
right.
he was sleeping, you know,
nightmares.
He was kind of lying to the psychiatrist. Was like, so you still have the nightmares? No, you know, they show it flash. He's having nightmares. He's having trouble sleeping, and it wasn't like it wasn't like the way it was at Wakanda.
Right.
And I feel like that's where he could be himself. Right. And remember, they was calling him the White Wolf, I think.
White Wolf,
on Wakanda, and that's just from the movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like that relationship is going to develop because, like the psychiatrist says, you know, you kind of need someone, and Captain America brought those two best friends of his. You know, Sam was his best friend
in the present. Yeah.
And
Bucky was his best friend for the past, and I think that's so ironic because, you know, I got a higher sense of meaning about it because I'm like, you know, friendship has no time frame. You know, it has no timeline.
That's a good one.
You could be a friend 20 or 30 or 40 years ago. You could be a friend last week, and you know the bonds that they share, and I think we'll share. Are going to be great.
I think so. I think that's where we're going to end it for now. And you guys, you know, do like and subscribe.
That's right.
And please comment. Tell us what you think of this first episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched the episode yet, go on back after this, watch the episode, and we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think.
Hear from you. Thank you, guys. I'm Cathy.
I'm Tom.
We're the Marvelous Donohues.
Marbleheads.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.